everybody. I'm doing a Zodiac energy reading for Ophiuchus for the month of February. So I'm going to relax and tune into the energies. This is going to be a mini message with wisdom and healing. If you're not sure if you are an Ophiuchus or not, you need to follow your heart on what feels right for you. Sometimes it's fun just to see what the wisdom is for the zodiac sign. It doesn't have to do with any type of astrology or date and time. What I'm going to be doing is reading energy patterns. So Ophiuchus has a collective consciousness. I'm going to be tapping into that. February has an energy pattern. I'm going to be reading and tuning into both, merge together and see what comes forward, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and relax here and let's see what comes forward, shall we? All right. Ophiuchus for February. What do we got? Okay, see a man, and he's not a human. He is a man, though. And he's got kind of like a... He doesn't have a lot of hair on his head, but he does have some hair. It's very short. And it's almost like wearing a mask in a way. His face is really long, and it's kind of like a rounded upside down triangle. And it kind of looks like a tribal mask, but it's actual skin. And it's a skull and bone structure. He's not very tall, and he is quite skinny. And he has very white skin, almost unnaturally white, even whiter than an albino. If that's possible. And I'm shown, when I look at him, there's a strange structure that is not natural to his form. And it's like a black, it's a black object, and it's cylindrical. It's kind of like a pipe, a plastic pipe, a tube. And it's sort of jammed into his face. So his face kind of has two sides. So his face is split in two by this this tube. It's still one face. It's just separated by this. It's got an indentation in it. It's starting to look like artwork. Like abstract art where they draw a face that has made out of shapes. And you can kind of see a face in a strange structure of different, unusually positioned shapes that make eyes and nose and a face. They could even be two faces put together awkwardly. And his face is starting to look like two faces put together, awkwardly put together. And he doesn't say anything. He just stands here and looks at me. He has no real self-expression other than his appearance. And I'm asking him if he's in pain, if he's okay. Because it seems to me like he's in pain, but he's not going to talk about it. And it's almost like he doesn't know how to talk about it. He doesn't know how to explain it. He doesn't know how to even begin to. And I say, well, sometimes it's easiest to begin by talking about basic things like, it definitely looks like you have a black tube stuck in your face. It definitely looks like your face is becoming two faces now. It definitely looks like you are abstract art. He's thinking about this. Sometimes it's too painful to talk about. Sometimes maybe I say that I don't know how to talk about it. I don't even know where to begin, but maybe to talk about it is too painful for me, and I'd rather just not feel that pain or share that pain with anybody. And I say, well, let's start with one location. Where do you feel pain at the most? He says his life. He feels the most pain in his life. It's not just like a broken heart or I have a headache from too much stress. It's like my whole life. I'm in a lot of pain from my whole life. I say, did it not turn out the way you wanted it to? Is that what the pain is? It's more like the type of feeling where, let's say time and time again you try really hard to step up to the plate, whether that's to be an amazing athlete or somebody who works really hard in school, the best doctor you could ever be, the world has ever known. Like you stepped up to the plate to stand up for what you believed in. Maybe you tried to protect somebody from a lot of hardship in their life, and you went through that brutality as well. And it feels like you put your best foot forward, you put your heart into it, and the energy you put in is not the energy that you're getting in return. And that creates anguish. It creates suffering. It creates the question of like what is the point? And so I tell Ophiuchus that let's say then you put your heart into it. So the point is that you put your heart into it. What did you expect? You would get a gold medal? You would be a millionaire? You would save the day? Save someone's life? Were you doing it for you, or were you doing it for a dream, an idea? What were you putting your heart into? What was your expectation? You were doing it for what or for who? Were you doing it because you are just simply that type of person? Should something come out of this that is representative of you, all the heart you put into it, you now getting all of that in return on some level of blessing? And now I see this man just cry and cry. No wonder he's so white. He's like a sheet, like white as a ghost, because his emotions are so tight. They're so tight. It's like the rag that's been wrung so tight there's no liquid that's coming out. His skin is so white because he can't emotionally process this type of anguish. And we need to bring the life back into him. Is it life that hit him in his face and split him into two people that are attached by the pain? I mean, it's this tube that creates the distortion that makes, in a way, two abstract faces. And he starts to wail, like really, really, like the most anguishing cry out of his heart. And it's like he's angry at life, he's angry at God, he's angry at what he put his heart and soul and spirit into. And there's no it's almost like the lesson learned is to not put your heart into anything, because you're going to get nothing in return. You might as well put no spirit, no life force, nothing of yourself into anything you do, because the return on it is literally as neutral and as bland as a cardboard box. What's the point of life? And really, to me, it's anguish. It's a lot of anguish. And it's not necessarily this life. It's some kind of, I don't know what the energies are, but the trigger switch is there. And I've felt this way. I've felt like so bewildered in my own life. I think we all hit points where we face some kind of unfathomable reality. And maybe not. Maybe not everybody has had this feeling or experience, but you don't know what else to do but to curl up into a ball and just wail your eyes out. And you don't know if you're angry at God, angry at yourself, angry at life, wondering how in the world you're going to cope or be able to work through this. But all you can do is cry. So that's step one, right? That's progress. That's processing some profound epiphany. And that's actually very good, okay? That's opening up the heart. That's liberating yourself. So let's just say that here's a span of life, point A to point B. Put our heart into it. This had some new life discoveries that made all of this feel like why did I do that? What was the point? Why is this happening to me right now? So point B now is not the breakdown of point A to point B. It's simply a processing of life from point A to point B, a processing of oneself, a learning how to love oneself for the energy they put in. It's not about what you get out. It's what the person that you are that chooses to do it that way. Now you can love yourself. Even if you got nothing else out of it, you can love yourself for being that person, right? But it's human to feel angry at God. It's human to feel that life should be different than this. It's human to go through this. So we need to release this pent-up emotion, this anguish, release it and process it out, right? And as we release it, don't expect answers. Don't demand some direction. It is what it is. Just let the emotion be the raw anguish, okay? Just let that be it. And just take care of yourself over the next few days, okay? And see what comes out the other side. You're going to feel a lot better. So that's the message for Ophiuchus. It's a tough one, my gosh. So... I mean, that's the ultimate level of, it is literally the word, the best way to define it is anguish. It's not despair. It's anguish. But this is literally a healing and purification process, majorly. This is resetting oneself. This is, getting the reset button that gets you back on your feet again and has you moving forward with a new style, a new framework, a new sense of self, a new appreciation for self, a new approach. Am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for other people, or I'm doing this because of money or whatever? It's more true to the spirit of yourself moving forward. So that's what I'm being shown here. Wow. I will say that was pretty intense. I want to thank you all for watching. If any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, you can come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I also have 2 other YouTube channels, so you can check me out at Abbey Normal and Abbey Psychic Services. I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. All right. Thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful February.